So the last time you were here, we had a slight discussion on what you would do with a Muppet movie. I have given you a
Yeah.
month. What have you come up with?
All right. Well, hey, baby. Yeah. I don't know, you gave me a month.
I gave you a month.
I have not thought about it for 29 days.
Hmm.
And then you texted me today and said, "Hey, you want to talk about this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah. I'll
Got
have
this?
plenty of time to think about this,
You
do
did not
30 days of
at all,
thinking in
did you?
today." I thought about it. Yeah, I have some
Yeah.
ideas. I think for me, I had to like, okay, what works about a Muppet movie? And because there was a few ideas, like I just thought, what are some of my favorite movies? And, what would they be like if we Muppetized them? But not all of, just because something's a good movie doesn't mean it would make for a good Muppet
Hmm.
movie. And I think one of the things, so like for example, like I thought about some movies with really good ensemble casts, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
ensemble Muppet. But like if you look at Muppet Christmas Carol, like it still kind of revolves around one singular character, and everybody
Yeah.
else is kind of contributing. So I was like, so it can't be two ensemble. So here's what I thought, and we might need to. I might need some help crowdsourcing the parts because I didn't get as far as to who everybody is.
Okay.
But I was like, Christmas Carol works because it's not even adapting necessarily another movie. It's adapting,
A
a work
story.
of yeah, it's a literary work. It's um
Same thing with
a
Muppet
great
Treasure Island.
yeah, it's just a great work of literature. And so I was like, okay, what other great works of literature? And this might be a little bit of recency bias because there's a movie coming out, but I would love to see a Muppet Odyssey. I think I think Odyssey is a great Muppet story because you already have like it's broken up into episodes, so you can kind of go like it's almost each like a sketch,
Yeah.
sketch by sketch, like where they go. You have, Odysseus, which is your primary character. I think that's who you keep human, whoever's going to play Odysseus. And then, so you've got all the other support, around him from his crew. You've got the gods. You got his wife and kid at home, and so yeah, I didn't get as far as the casting everything. I had a
Okay.
few ideas. I think it makes sense to, Miss Piggy to be the wife, Penelope at home
Yeah.
makes sense. That does so here's we're not gonna take too long on this.
Yeah.
But every thought that I had introduced a complication, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense for Miss Piggy to be Penelope, but then I'm like, okay, but then now you have the human pig love interest, so you immediately take away the Kermit Piggy relational
That's
dynamic
true.
is now removed, and you start thinking about, and there's not a lot of Muppet villains. You got like Uncle Deadly maybe would work. He's kind of villainous, but like outside Sam the Eagle's like he's not a villain, but like he's
No.
he's like rigid, he's stern, he's a rule follower. So sometimes he can kind of play that. But like outside of that,
It's really kind of harder to
yeah,
cast the Muppets in something like that.
I think it'd be funny to do like Waldorf and Statler as like Scylla and Charybdis, like as the two sea monsters that are like
Yeah.
they're
That would
like
be really
bickering
funny.
with each other about who, then they're trying to
Yeah.
go through the middle and I thought about it
Sweetums
some, but
plays the
it's
Cyclops.
yeah, Sweetums is a
Mm,
Cyclops. Yeah, that's exactly where I went with that. I thought Hermes might be a good like that might be a good like Pepe the Prawn role, like maybe for
Yeah,
Hermes.
hmm
good.
But like then I started getting to like, okay, well, who's Poseidon? Like Poseidon's like pretty much Odysseus's main like antagonist outside of like the suitors, back at home. And so I'm like, who would play? And that's when I started realizing like, yeah, there's kind of a lack of like villainous Muppets. Like you almost have to like create some new Muppets for this, like bring in
That's
some
true.
new
That's kind of what they did for
um
Christmas Carol, though. Like the all of the ghosts were not specific Muppets because they recognized that that was almost like too much like known entities, and it
Yeah.
kind of ruins part of that magic. And I think
that's a
that you
very
could
good
totally
point.
have regular villains. Honestly, that's also like a thing of I think you could keep another human if it is simply to be a foil to Muppets.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Because Muppets,
Kind of like what they
it's
did with the Muppets, the Jason
yeah,
Segel one.
yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a lot like like the concept of like there's no bad dogs, only like bad trainers kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
it's that like there are no bad Muppets. Like it's just a
Yes.
Muppet sometimes steps into that role, but then even Uncle Deadly's like, I am not evil, just because
I'm
I
not
have
a
an evil
Muppet. I'm a
laugh.
Muppet.
Yeah, it's like I am a Muppet. And it's a great line. It's a great bit.
I
And I
love
think
that.
that's the kind of thing that you kind of have at your disposal there. And since it is Muppetized, even the people that are your villains, you could probably just recruit to be with you. Sweetums being a Cyclops, but then in the end he's like, "Can I come with you?" And they're like, "All right,
Sure,
okay."
get your fun.
And the ship still leaves. He's like, "Wait, you're leaving without me." A classic bit for him as well.
That would be perfect.
uh and cameos would abound. Like you go into,
That's true.
each island is a chance for, some celebrity cameo to show up and do their thing. And so
That is kind of like a hallmark of Muppet movies is the celebrity cameo.
mm.
So,
So
but,
it's unrefined. I didn't
no, it's all
finish
right.
the homework, but that's where I spent my month's worth of thinking
I
today.
like that
I
though.
did it.